Necessary significance. This is where the rubber meets the road. The people in our world all need to know that they are significant. When people have a sense of knowing that what they're doing is creating success, not only for themselves, but for their organization, and they're given platforms to shine and to perform at their highest levels, we can make a massive difference in the morale, in the productivity, in the retention, and in all of the benefits that we already mentioned to you through Gallup poll. When you look at these types of attributes that you can offer people, what you're looking at here is a platform where people can find out what their talents and giftings really are. If they know that they're valued, if they're given clarity and direction, and they understand what the vision is for the organization, they can run much faster and be that much more effective. Engaging people, empowering them, giving them an opportunity to be everything that they were supposed to be. One of my favorite quotes is another John Maxwell quote. People do not care what you know until they know that you care. It was also spoken by Theodore Roosevelt. And it truly is what I have found to be an impacting concept when you lead people. I was asked in 2005 to launch a very large department for a nonprofit organization. And in doing so, after about a year and a half into it, I needed to hire a key person. He would be my right-hand man, and he would have a greater impact on my people than anyone else. I ended up, over a course of 7 years, with about 6 internal entities to run this department, meaning I had 5 managers and 1 support manager, including this key individual. There were about 50 employees and 50 volunteers in the operation. I share this with you because I want you to understand the size of the organization and the importance of this particular key individual and what he would have to do. So I went through the interview process, and as you all know, it can be very grueling. It can take a lot of your time, effort, money, expense, investment. And today, the interview process has gotten extremely complex with all the different assessments that people do and the different tests that they run and the gamut of interviews they have to get through. Very expensive to interview people. And we're going to touch on that in a little bit. You're going to see the significance of why we're bringing that up. But after about 30 of them, I got it down to 5. And interestingly, it was the last one that stood out to me. Now, each of the 30 had all the talents, they had all the experience, the background, the education. They seemed to really have it together. But I was looking for something else. I was looking for someone that had a compassion for people, a desire to run with the vision, and a heart that would think of the people first. In other words, when I spoke with him, I knew it wasn't all about him and his status. He was more interested in pouring back into the organization and into the people. So I took him on board. His name was Andre. For about the first 3 months, he did everything that I knew he would do. He performed with such compassion and such vigor, and his experience began to shine through. And then something happened after that 3rd month. This is where the warning label would have been nice. Andre began to do some things that really I could have let him go for. He began to make some really large mistakes. So I decided to sit down with Andre and have a conversation. And we talked heart to heart, and I said, Andre, what's going on? He started out running so well, and I began to list out all of the attributes that I saw in him, all of the wonderful character traits and the reason that I hired him, his potential and everything that he had to offer. We talked about it. After we got it all laid on the table, I could see the fear in his face because he was thinking in his mind, well, she's leading up to letting me go. But I surprised him. I said, Andre, I still see all these attributes in you. I still see everything that I just listed to you, and I'm willing to give you a chance. But there's 3 things that I need you to commit to. Number 1, I need you to commit to the organization 100% and run with this vision with all of your heart as fast as you can. Number 2, I need you to commit to me and let me mentor you, train you, retrain you, and hold you accountable going forward in every area. And number 3, you need to let me appoint you a mentor, a male mentor. that can come alongside you and offer you the same thing. So he can hold you accountable. He can train you. He can lead you and teach you. I said, do you agree to these 3 things? And I saw his countenance lift, and he looked at me with a smile, and he said, absolutely. I am on board. Let's do this. Well, what I had found out about Andre is the reason that he took the crash and died is because his world, just before I hired him, had come to a horrible fall. He had just lost a wife. He wasn't getting along with his ex-wife at all. There was devastation in the relationships in his world, including his parents, which he was in his mid-30s. But as you know, relationships that are close to us can have an effect on us. And this is how he was dealing with it. He was drinking too much. So this is why it began to reflect through in his work and his performance on a regular basis. So that's why he was so shocked that I was willing to give him this opportunity. Well, we went along, and for the next 3 months, I saw the performance in Andre begin to dramatically change. He ran with such a passion. I watched him as I saw talents and giftings come out in him that I didn't even know he had. He began to display so much passion for his job and so much for people. He ran with a gratitude in his heart that somebody was willing to believe in him. And when he did that, he had a desire to start believing in other people. So the team that I mentioned to you, he began to pour into them and believe in them and offer them platforms of success and give them a chance to have potential. He began to engage them and help them to sense that they're valuable and give them a sense of contribution. What happened? Fast forward another 3 months. The entire organization began to run as a solid, unified team. There was a higher morale, you could feel it in the atmosphere, to the level that I started to see creativity come out in all of them as they excitedly came to work every day and together planned out new concepts and new ideas to push us forward. This is what empowerment does because it's infectious. And that's what we need to remember about why we do it.